Barnyard and Cowboy Ron Bass and Dick Slater. Ball attack. He's Joe Lightfoot. And they have destroyed those four bonnets. And, oh, good grief. Larry Wynn just hit the ram. Larry Wynn just hit the ram. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Eddie Graham Sports Stadium in Orlando, Florida. I'm Gordon Sullivan, your host, along with Buddy Colt. Barbara Ferry is on location for her Take 5. We'll be hearing from her just a little bit later on. Buddy, a tremendous crowd here tonight, an overflow crowd, and, of course, everybody talking about the great matches that are upcoming.
That's right, Gordon. There's a lot of excitement in the air here tonight. There's a world title match on the card tonight, and it's just going to be a lot of great matches, a lot of excitement tonight.
No question about it, so by all means, do stay tuned. We're bringing it to you direct from the Eddie Graham Sports Stadium in Orlando. We have a match in progress right now. Denny Brown moving out against Hector Guerrero. This match is one fall of 15 minutes time limit. And right now it's Denny Brown holding an edge on Guerrero. You notice that both men have their fists taped, and they have the right to use them in any way they see fit.
That's right, and to tape this match, this means that normally when you cannot use your doubled up fist, in a match like this, the fists are legal. The tape actually protects your knuckles. Many times when you'll see a boxer wearing boxing gloves, his fist be taped on that. This is to protect your knuckles. When you hit a man upside the skull, the bone is so hard, you take a big chance of breaking your knuckles from doing that. In a match like this, fists are legal. Practically anything goes. Right now, it looks like Hector Guerrero has got quite an inside throw hold on Dennis Brown here and putting the pressure on. Now Hector Guerrero's partner and brother, Shaba Guerrero, is set right over the other side at ringside, keeping a very close eye on the goings-on here in the ring.
I might point out, too, of course, that tonight is the night for the Lords in the ring at the Orange Bowl. And, of course, on the 7th of July, some great action takes place just down the road. Eddie Graham Sports Stadium in the beautiful Lakeland Civic Center. And, of course, the entire state of Florida is just on fire with great, great wrestling action.
It looks like Hector Guerrero right now is kind of warning the referee about Dennis Brown using the fist. But like I said earlier, in this match, it is legal to use your fist. So Hector Guerrero is backpedaling. He's back in the corner. He's kind of begging for mercy, asking what that was a cheap shot. He put his foot into Dennis Brown's stomach trying to catch him off guard, and he did catch him off guard. A snap there, and down goes Dennis Brown.
Brown to one side, however, and it's Guerrero who is taking the brunt of the punishment right now. Another snap mare by Brown, and Brown closes in on him on the rope. Right overhead, I might add. And it is Denny Brown from Honolulu, Hawaii in the red trunk. Very much in charge of the situation at the moment.
Dennis Brown is going to have to be a little careful because you can see in this shot right here where Chavo Guerrero is on the other side of the ring. Sometimes it can be an intimidating thing to see an extra man there. Let's hope that Chavo Guerrero stays outside where he belongs. But whenever Hector Guerrero gets in trouble, you can always have to keep your eye on his brother. His brother's going to do what he can to try and prevent Dennis Brown from winning this match. Dennis Brown is a well-versed wrestler. He's been around for quite a few years. Great playing city wrestler. There's a good close-up of Chavo Guerrero. Very intently watching his brother in action.
Denny Brown is putting the hurt on Hector Guerrero. Denny Brown scoring effectively to those femoris muscles and punishing that left leg. And he is very, very effective at this point in the match. You can hear it much to the pleasure of the thousands and thousands of people jamming the Eddie Graham Sports Stadium here in Orlando, Florida. One of a series of locations where you'll be seeing Championship Wrestling 84 as we tour the entire state this summer. Be watching for us in your town. We may be there next.
You see Dennis Brown really putting the pressure on this left upper thigh muscle of Hector Guerrero. Looked like Hector Guerrero was able to come out of that, and now Dennis Brown is in trouble. Things can change so quickly in professional wrestling. You have to be on your guard at all times. If you take your eyes off your opponent for 1 second, the tables can turn. There's a big high backdrop, and that knocks a lot of air out of you.
All right, Guerrero still trying to maintain dominance here. Beautiful high vertical souffle on Denny Brown. Brown powers out before the count, however. And it's referee Bill Alfonso watching the action very, very closely. Brown. All right, it's Brown punishing Guerrero. And referee Bill Alfonso watching both men very, very intently.
Looks like both men there were doing the best to try and block. They're getting a head run on the turnbuckle. And it looks like Hector Guerrero got the short end of this.
He did indeed, and Denny Brown beginning to explode with a series of lefts and rights. He's got Guerrero buckled up and against the turnbuckle. And wait a minute. Ooh. Guerrero. I don't know whether his brother Chavo passed something along to him or not. Brother, he put Denny Brown down and out with a single punch to the head.
Well, it looked to me like he was holding something in his hand, but I can't really be sure. I didn't see anything. His hand is still kind of doubled up like he might be concealing something, but you can't be sure.
There's nothing in his hand. Well, so the winner of this match is indeed Hector Guerrero.
This is it. Tonight is the night. The only wrestling spectacular of its kind in the entire world will take place tonight here in Miami at the Orange Bowl. Match time is 8:30. May I assure you that I'm looking forward to seeing each and every one of you, and of course there's going to be a big special party for everybody in the Paradise Box Lounge after the matches are over. We'll just point out the Women's Tag Team Championship goes down the line in a full Nelson versus full Nelson match. $50,000 on the line. It's Billy Jack against superstar Billy Graham. And then, of course, the match that everybody's looking forward to, Lords of the Ring, the champion of champions, as Dusty Rhodes takes on Ric Flair. The winner to receive $100,000 in his 2 out of 3 falls match, plus the $15,000 gold and diamond champion of champion rings. That's tonight, 8:30, and our thanks to Red Top Limousine for the courtesies they've extended us. I'd also like to remind you right now that we'll be wrestling this coming Wednesday night in Fort Lauderdale at the Sunrise Musical Theater, next Thursday night in Okeechobee at the Crystal Lake Resort. But this coming Wednesday night at Sunrise Musical Theater, you're going to have a chance to regain that Florida Heavyweight Championship.
Gordon, you know, when I first come down here to Florida, I knew there was a lot of tough competition. And believe me, I heard of superstar Billy Graham before I ever got into professional wrestling. And he's one tough customer. He's probably got the best manager in professional wrestling today. With everything put to the side, the full Nelson, brother, that's what's going to end your career, because you successfully broke my hand. And you've been trying to put me out of professional wrestling for some reason. Why, I don't know. I don't know what you got against me, but it's beyond the limit. I'm going to go back to the streets where I was born and raised. And, brother, we're going to go head-to-head here. And that Florida belt's going to come back in my lap and around my waist for the people here in Florida. And one of us is going to be hurt very seriously. We'll take that to the bank.
That'll be this coming Wednesday night in Fort Lauderdale at the Sunrise Musical Theater.
Right now, then, let's turn it over to our ring announcer for our next match. Here's Hugh Turley.
Corner from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 228 pounds, Mike Fever. Mike Fever. His opponent in this corner from Mexico City, Mexico, weighing in at 230 pounds, Chavo Guerrero. Guerrero. 1 fall, 15-minute time limit.
Okay, Mike Fever moving out against Chavo Guerrero. And I can't help but feel that Chavo was involved in that situation with Hector Guerrero a few moments ago.
Well, apparently it seemed like he was there, and all of a sudden he was gone, and they always work very closely together. However, right now, this time, I do not see Hector Guerrero at ringside. Perhaps Chavo Guerrero has enough confidence in himself, and maybe Hector Guerrero might have been lacking a little bit earlier. He's got a crooked head scissors on Mike Fever. This can put a lot of pressure on your neck, on the upper vertebrae in your spine there. Chavo Guerrero is a great wrestler, as is Mike Fever. You will never see a dull match when either of the Guerrero brothers in the ring. They're both very exciting to watch, very colorful, always a lot of action.
As typified by what he just did, very quickly moving into a head scissors and catches Mike Fever. By the way, we've got a little something special coming up tonight, too. I was talking to Chief Joe Lightfoot earlier. He has something very, very special, and we'll be having that a little bit later on in the evening, and it is Mike Fever moving up, floating up nicely, getting a side headlock. Guerrero broke it up, however, and a good 2 pin-under takedowns by Mike Fever.
See, right there when Mike Fever had the headlock on Chavo Guerrero, and Chavo kept trying to counter by going into a head scissors. This is where perhaps Mike Fever should have tried to duck and keep his head down flat next to Chavo Guerrero's body to prevent Chavo from getting that head scissors on him. And so consequently now, because the series have moved, it looks like Chavo Guerrero has come out with an arm bar on Mike Fever. Now what he's doing right here is a very painful hold. This is a hold I used many times years back myself, and you can do a lot of damage here to the upper deltoid muscle. You see where he's got his left hand just set up on that upper deltoid muscle, putting the pressure on. And Mike Fever able to do a little wing over and come out of that.
They lock up again, collar and elbow, and Fever being pulled back into the far turnbuckle, and Chavo Guerrero, a ripping bolo-like forearm under the chin, and Fever's eyes glazing just slightly. And now Fever retaliates. Fever with a series of hard right hands that has Guerrero looking around, wondering exactly where he's at. Referee Bill Alfonso continues to watch both men very carefully.
See, right there, Mike Fever just kind of walked into him, and Chavo Guerrero brought the flat of his foot up into the stomach of Mike Fever. This is within the rules of professional wrestling. Now, there's a big high knee up alongside the upper jaw and upside the head of Mike Fever. Mike Fever is in a lot of really bad, serious trouble right now with that foot upside, the flat of the foot upside the head after that knee. The referee trying to warn Chavo, but now here's even the end step of the foot, which once again is within the rules of professional wrestling.
Fever firing back. He took a lot of punishment, came right back for more. And it looks to me like, that one got Fever. Fever's stunned and drops to the canvas to both knees. Now back to his feet. Good rolling reverse, but Chavo Guerrero broke it up. Very logical move on the part of Chavo Guerrero.
That's right. That shows from years of experience being in the ring. He saw when Mike Fever went over his back. He knew what he was going to do. He was able to block it and counter it, and looked like he was coming over with a pinning combination. But when Mike Fever went over, he didn't go over far enough. He didn't catch Chavo off balance, and consequently, Mike Fever wound up on the losing part of that maneuver.
All right, and so it is now Chavo Guerrero, and he's got Mike Fever in a rear chin lock and is punishing him. Watch Guerrero now, back to his feet. Short chopping right hand, and Fever fires back. Guerrero rips across the eyes. Guerrero in behind his man. Wow, beautiful, beautiful souffle. High bridge after that souffle. And an excellent pinning combination by Chavo Guerrero. And quite a victory indeed.
Winner, Chavo Guerrero.
We have a very special presentation. Well, I don't want that Dick Slater complaining about TV time. Chief Joe Lightfoot's got an announcement he wants to make, and if somebody will give the chief a microphone.
for one thing, a gorgeous eagle. The eagle to my people meant the power, the medicine. This address right here is made all full of eagles feathers that came way back where I come from, Quebec, Canada. They've been picked one by one and been made. My grandfather brought me this set of feathers for one man only. And the only man I love so much, just like America loved the eagle. Mr. Blackjack Mulligan. That set of feathers gonna be for him. Slater, this is my TV time limit. Why don't you get the hell out of here? This is beautiful.
Wait a minute. Kevin Sullivan and Black Bart and Cowboy Ron Bass and Dick Slater have all attacked Chief Joe Lightfoot, and they have destroyed those war bonnets and, oh, good grief.
You know, Gordon, sometimes this has gone too far. Slater and Kevin Sullivan don't even have any business being out here at ringside, much less in the ring.
Well, they're just making an absolute shambles out of it. Wait a minute, Mike Davis charged the ring and he was hurdled outside. And the rest of, wait a minute, Barry Windham just hit the ring. And we've got a Pier Sixer going now with Barry Windham.
They're going to have to get a little more help against Barry Windham. There's too many of them here. There's 4 men out here against Barry right now and Chief Joe Lightfoot.
And Slater has Windham outside into that ring post as they continue to punish.
Here comes Blackjack and Mike Rotundo.
Watch that. Watch Slater. He's got Barry Windham. Ooh. He's got Windham up a brainbuster from outside. Now the ring has been for Mike Rotundo and Blackjack Mulligan. For us, sir. Blackjack Mulligan out there attending to Barry Windham. Barry Windham caught that brainbuster outside the ring. Slater was jammed into that ring post by Blackjack Mulligan. And we're trying to get things straightened out here. Trying to get things squared away. All right, they've got Barry. Barry's back on his feet. Thank heavens for that. And they're rendering him. Out!
It looks like Blackjack Mulligan just wasn't going to let Dick Slater get away with what he did. You know, giving someone a brain buster on this solid concrete floor, that can have some permanent and lasting injury.
Blackjack Mulligan has gone into the center of the ring and is rendering assistance now to Chief Joe Lightfoot. Barry Windham has been escorted from the ring, as have others who have been removed. But we still have...
Chief Joe Lightfoot is completely unconscious.
Well, the tragic turn of events here for Chief Joe Lightfoot and for Blackjack Mulligan, and they're trying to get him removed from the ring area at this time. And so Chief Joe Lightfoot, who came into this ring on Blackjack Mulligan, picking him up bodily and moving away from the ring area. So Blackjack Mulligan tending to the hurts. This man, we had a match scheduled here with Chief Joe Lightfoot and Mike Davis, but well, for the moment, we'll just tell you we'll be back. We'll be back in a moment. Okay, the problem here now is Mike Davis was scheduled to wrestle with Chief Joe Lightfoot as his tag team partner. And Chief Joe Lightfoot obviously in no condition to wrestle. And Mike Davis might stand to lose this match by default. Wait a second. Mike Rotundo just started the ring. And brother, Mike Rotundo and Mike Davis, tag team partners.
I'll tell you, Mike Rotundo jumped in the ring. He didn't wait for anything. He just went right into action. He just pulled his t-shirt off. He threw it out to the audience. Looks like he was just pandemonium in the ring. It It looks like Ron Bass and Black Bart are practically unconscious already.
We're up there. A very, very fired up Mike Rotundo and a very fired up Mike Davis. And Black Bart and Cowboy Ron Bass beginning to find out that they're facing a double tough tag team combination. They're down, and that may be all she wrote. Never can tell.
Well, right now, Mike Rotundo and Mike Davis have these two in a lot of trouble. They're not letting up. They're staying right on top of them. They're not going to give them a chance, just like they didn't give Chief Joe Lightfoot a chance.
You still have all four men in the ring. The referee, Bill Alfonso, trying to get these men to start conforming to tag team rules and regulations. And Rotundo catching him with a beautiful drop kick. All right, Black Bart is indeed outside the ring now. All right, we're going to have to break away for a commercial here. Should a pinfall occur while we're away, we'll be videotaping this and we'll bring it back to you in instant replay. But right now, we'll be right back.
Let me take just a moment now to talk, first of all, about tonight in Miami at the Orange Bowl. What a fantastic night of wrestling competition. It all hangs in there tonight, that's for sure. The Lords of the Ring, tonight, 8:30. Plenty of good short seating is still available. So, of course, with 82,000 seating capacity, everybody's going to be assured of a good seat. Now then, in addition to tonight at Lords of the Ring in the Miami Orange Bowl, Championship Wrestling does return to Fort Lauderdale and the Sunrise Musical Theater this coming Wednesday night, July 4th. And it's a firecracker spectacular, plus we're all going to be celebrating Barry Windham's birthday. In a lights-out match, Lumberjack with sticks, it'll be Blackjack Mulligan against Kevin Sullivan. In a grudge match, Dusty Rhodes and Chief Joe Lightfoot take on the one-man gang and Ron Bass. Billy Jack goes after the Florida title held by superstar Billy Graham. In a Southern Championship match, Mike Rotundo faces Angelo Mosca, 2 out of 3 falls. Mike Graham takes on Hector Guerrero. There will be 2 other matches, including one with Big Daddy. Take a moment now to talk to Chief Joe Lightfoot and the Dusty Rhodes. They'll be tag team partners. That night, Dusty, I just have a hunch as you walk in the ring, you're going to be displaying a brand new ring.
I think, Gunn, that it's all been said and done. The ring around my finger. Loves the ring. It's going to be the biggest event, biggest night of my life, biggest night of life in professional wrestling. And then in the sunrise, I'm going to have a stick. The lumberjack match. Sullivan, if he even gets out alive from the Orange Bowl. Surrounded the ring, lumberjack with sticks. Bobby and the devil himself head up, and me and the chief going to take care of business, right, chief?
Right. Celui canadien français, tous les haïtiens vont vous parler qu'ils viennent manger le passé. Une couple de semaines passées, Blackjack Mulligan a été blessé. Ils ont sauté dessus Ron Bass et One Man Gang. Ils ont sauté dessus, ils ont fait bien mal. Donc on s'est dû de ces Rhodes. Maintenant, moi-même et Mr. Dusty Rhodes, on va dans cette arène-là de square pour une chose, taking care of business comme Dusty Rhodes always dit très bien. Une chose qui va se rappeler, c'est que Dusty Rhodes et moi-même, c'est qu'une chose qu'on a à faire. Arriver là, Southway, taking care of business comme he always dit.
Thank you so very much, gentlemen, and let's turn it over now to Cowboy Ron Bass and others.
You know, gang, it seems like they found another friend. It seems like Mulligan and Rhodes and Wyndham, I didn't know they had any left in the world. They got a brand new friend, one little Chief Joe Lightfoot. He says, let me go out there and help you take care of them. Let me get some revenge on Bass Sullivan, the one-man gang, and Black Bart. Well, let me tell you something, boy. If you want to throw your name into the hat, if you want to get in there and take a little bit of a beating, if you want to take some of the punishment, well, you just come on with Rhodes. Rhodes, you know how it feels, son. This man here remembers the cast that he was wearing on his leg. We're going to see Wednesday night, brother, if he can't put one on your whole body. Tonight, $50,000 on the line. Wednesday night, this on the line. The Florida Heavyweight Championship. Billy Jack, you want it back. You want it bad, but Star's going to keep it, brother. Mulligan! Mulligan, there is no way you're getting the sunrise. I have called on Esteban, I called on Hubie himself, and I even have called on the Dalai Lama. The power that lies in my heart will put the karma that lies on the family's house over once and for all. Because tonight, in front of 40,000 people, I'm going to take that hangman's noose, Mulligan, and I'm going to put it around your neck, and I'm going to cinch up those 13 knots. Those 13 knots, Mulligan, and when I pull it tight, I'm not going to let go till the last breath of air.
Blackjack Mulligan's got some other idea.
We all understand since the beginning of time that the devil is going to be around in one form or another. But we can give him some pretty good lickings, and it's exactly what we've done and what we're going to do. Now, in the sunrise, devil, you've got about 9 lives, and this may be the last one. Everybody going to be around the ring with a stick in their hand. When you decide to make a little exit, and when you decide to leave, you'll get whacked, and you'll have to get thrown back in that ring. And sooner or later, if I believe hard enough, and if we hope, and we really care, the devil's going to disappear. Once all series, brother, is moving on. And devil, we're going to eliminate you totally and completely. You never know. The devil will be gone forever.
Okay, we're back in action here. Neither team has been able to score a pinfall or a submission hold up to this point. It continues to be Cowboy Ron Bass and Black Bart moving against the team of Mike Davis and Mike Rotunda. You can see it is Cowboy Ron Bass who's been lacerated. Mike Davis trying to get over and make that tag. Rotunda was near, and yet so far.
In the beginning of this match, it looked like it was Mike Rotunda and Mike Davis. Let me tell you, Ron Bass and Black Bart are former United States Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. This means they are two of the best wrestlers in the entire country, if not in the entire world. These two men can take punishment as well as dish it out, and this match goes to show that. Right now, there is Mike Davis able to power out from under that pinning combination, but Black Bart, you see how quickly this man moves. He's a very big man, and he moves very fast, and right back on top with his reverse chin lock on Mike Davis, trying to wear him down, keeping him covered. There's Mike Davis with his punches, but there's Black Bart gets over and tags out very quickly to his partner. Get that fresh man in there at all times.
I'll say one thing, this incident that occurred with Chief Joe Lightfoot is certainly something that I think ought to be referred back to Bob Geigel, and I wouldn't be surprised if I hear something from Mr. Geigel.
Well, something like that, there really should be something somewhere, because this is completely outside the limits of wrestling. Things like this cannot be tolerated in professional wrestling.
Bass catching him behind the head once again to the base of the skull, punishing blows. Beautiful move. There's that, all I can say is that patented move by Cowboy Ron Bass and Black Bart. They get the pinfall on Mike Davis. They get the pinfall on Mike Davis. See if I can't get a word here with Cowboy Ron Bass and with Black Bart. Certainly a very impressive victory, Mr. Bass, but how do you possibly account for your actions with Chief Joe Lightfoot?
Why would I want to cancel my action with Chief Joe Lightfoot? You want to put your nose in where down below? You want to throw your allegiance to Blackjack Mulligan? Well, you're going to have to pay, boy. If you're going to kick in the thieves, you're going to pay just like them. And you're talking about impressive victory, Gordon Sullivan. You're just looking at the United States Tag Team Champions, brother. All it takes is for us to get some time on the line, brother. We're going to get them back. We won't return them. We won't win them. And we want it a title match, brother. And the sooner we get that, the sooner you're going to quit seeing things happen like this. We're going to be carrying them out of the ring. They're going to be hurt. They're going to be broken. They're going to be bleeding. So we get those titles back, Gordon Sullivan, and you can take it to the bank and make book on it, boy.
Well, certainly these men have made their point abundantly clear, and we'll be back. take 5 in just a few moments.
Final reminder, Lords of the Ring will be held tonight in Miami at the Orange Bowl. Match time is 8:30. This coming Wednesday night, Championship Wrestling will be held in Fort Lauderdale at the Sunrise Musical Theater. And next Thursday night, Championship Wrestling will move to Okeechobee and the Crystal Lake Resort. That's Thursday night, Okeechobee, Crystal Lake Resort. Now, here's Barbara Clary.
La lucha libre de campeones viene a su área en las próximas semanas. Esta noche a las 8:30 en el Orange Bowl Stadium en Miami, el Amador Ring. Miércoles, el 4 de julio a las 8 de la noche en el Sunrise Musical Theater de Fort Lauderdale. Y jueves, el 5 de julio a las 8 de la noche en el Crystal Lake Resort de Okeechobee. Recuérdense, esta noche en Miami, el día 4 en Fort Lauderdale y el día 5 en Okeechobee.
Remember then, wrestling tonight here in Miami, Wednesday night Fort Lauderdale, Thursday night Okeechobee.
Tonight at 8:30 in the Orange Bowl in Miami, it's going to be one of the most exciting nights of wrestling or any sport in that area. Not only in that area, in Florida, in the world. There are going to be lots of matches, lots of titles, women, but the big match that everybody's waiting for is the Lord of the Rings match. $100,000, a $15,000 ring, and Ric Flair has joined me to talk about it.
Barbara, let's call this the greatest wrestling extravaganza of all time, if not one of the greatest sporting events of all time. See, tonight in Miami, we're walking into the Orange Bowl, and I'm sure that people in Miami all over the wrestling world don't need any explanation in terms of the prestige involved in a sporting event taking place in the Orange Bowl. We're talking about Lord of the Rings. Myself, Ric Flair, the World Heavyweight Champion, versus Dusty Rhodes, former two-time World Heavyweight Champion, in a 2-out-of-3 fall match. Eddie Graham's a special referee. There's a $100,000 cash prize that goes to the winner. And there's a $15,000 diamond ring. Very similar to the ring worn by any football player that's ever been fortunate enough to be on a Super Bowl winning team. Let's talk about it like this. You see, when I'm the World Heavyweight Champion, I got to abide by a few rules laid down by the NWA. But when I'm Ric Flair, the wrestler, the man that's going to walk into that ring and look across and see Dusty Rhodes trying to take $100,000 off me, trying to take a piece of jewelry, and nobody likes jewelry. Nobody likes to look finer than Ric Flair. Eddie Graham, one of the wrestling greats of all time, is going to be the referee. But I'm going to tell you folks something. This match is going to be the greatest match that's ever been played in Miami. Because number one, nobody's ever won $100,000 in one night before. Number two, nobody's ever won a $15,000 diamond ring before. And number three, nobody has ever beat Dusty Rhodes in front of 50,000 people. And tonight, in Miami, the big man is my witness. You put it to bed. I'm walking into the Orange Bowl, and I'm leaving with all the marbles. And I want every good-looking woman in Miami to be there, because I'm going to have $100,000 cash in my pocket, and I'm going to be strutting with a new ring, and I'm going to take the woman of my choice out, and we're going to tear Miami Beach down. Woo!
Orange Bowl is the place to be. Lord of the Rings. Don't miss it. That's our Take 5 for this week.
Well, we have a situation here now, really, of bedlam and confusion. Mike Rotundo taking the injured Chief Joe Lightfoot's place in a very, very, very tough match. And Mike Rotundo is scheduled to wrestle next against the one-man gang, but I'm sure that's not going to happen, frankly. Rotundo left that match with Mike Davis against Black Bart and Cowboy Ron Bass, and he had really been through a tough one. Ring announcer Hugh Turley is in the ring. Sir Oliver Humperdinck and the one-man gang, and our referee Bill Alfonso, all in the ring, and we're waiting now to find out who will be coming in as a substitute for Mike Rotundo. But certainly it's not going to be Rotundo. Well, wait a minute. There is Rotundo. Rotundo has come back and apparently intends to wrestle. Let's go to our ring announcer.
Your next match this evening, ladies and gentlemen, one fall, 30-minute time limit. In this corner, from Syracuse, New York, weighing in at 240 pounds, Mike Rotundo. His opponent, from Chicago, Illinois, weighing 450 pounds, the One-Man Gang. One fall, 30-minute time limit.
Well, I'll tell you something, buddy. This kid, Mike Rotundo, he's got a heart that is as large as his 240-pound body.
Well, Gordon, I'll tell you, there's nobody more surprised and shocked than myself, but like you just said, this shows a great athlete. This man has a great heart, a lot of intestinal fortitude, a lot of courage. After the match that he just went through against Ron Bass and Black Bart, to come back out here alone and face the 450-pound one-man gang, and also the one-man gang has Sir Oliver Humperdinck there at his corner, ringside, trying to intimidate Mike Rotundo, trying to keep him off guard. But Gordon, you always know when you said this man has a great heart. He is all athlete.
Certainly no question about that, and we're watching now as they lock up once again, and it's the one-man gang. Mike Rotundo has to have lost several pounds already in this intense heat and that electrifying match he just had. So he has burned off an awful lot of energy already, and just the question is, how much longer can he go before this fresh and very wily one-man gang is able to take advantage of that fatigue that must be setting in on Rotundo?
That's right, Gordon. I can tell you from past experience, the match they were just in was a good 20-25 minutes. With this heat, this building is very hot here. The lights over the ring are very hot. The television lights are putting more heat on the ring. The sweat that you lose is sapping your energy, is draining your energy. The only thing is really going to save Mike Rotundo is his tremendous body conditioning, the tremendous conditioning, and his tremendous knowledge of wrestling, of basic wrestling, where he's going to have to outmove and wear down the one-man gang. The one-man gang will not have the endurance of a man like Mike Rotundo, but Mike Rotundo has already been out here for 20-25 minutes, and his endurance can only go so far. Well, he just has to rely on that courage, that endurance, and stamina that he has. You see this picture of the one-man gang just kind of gloating with his big, powerful arm around the headlock of Mike Rotundo, just putting the pressure on this headlock, which will drive the oxygen out of your system.
Well, of course, of that match, let's say that it went 15 as an example. The average amount of body contact in a pro football game is 14 and a half to 15 minutes. So if the match went 15, he's already done the equivalent of one single football game. And after just a very few minutes break there with Barbara Clary's Take 5, here he is back in action again. So you might say, wow, rough body lock. He put the 450-pounder down.
Well, it looked for me for a second there that he had a pinning combination on the one-man gang. If it hadn't been for the time that he had already spent out here, that would have probably been it. He would have been able to come off those ropes with more power, more force, but he came off with enough to knock the one-man gang off his feet and down onto his back. The one-man gang is really no match for the wrestling skill of Mike Rotundo. But what he has got to count on is his 200-pound weight advantage over and above Mike. But right here, look at the back muscles and Mike Rotundo just straining there. You can see the intensity. But then the one-man gang, even though he has a 200-pound advantage, had to use a cheap shot and pull Mike back into the headlock by the back of his hair.
Rotundo trapped in that side headlock now. And Rotundo, now this is where really the expertise of the wrestler, the man with a fantastic background such as Mike Rotundo, twice All-American out of Syracuse University. This is where you start talking about human chess at its very finest. This is why this is indeed a sport where the mental agility certainly has to match the physical agility. And Rotundo is going to have to bring all of his mental prowess into being now to offset what he must be feeling in fatigue after finishing that other grueling match.
And not only that, he has to keep an eye on Sir Oliver Humperdinck. Sir Oliver Humperdinck in the past has interfered in so many matches. He always does his very best to try and do it when the referee is not looking. But Sir Oliver Humperdinck, you might say, is very good. Look at it, drop toe hold, and down goes 450-pound one-man gang. Looks like Mike Rotundo is coming out on top. One-man gang is down. It looks like begging for mercy.
Well, the saying goes, they're all the same size once they're down on the mat. And that is certainly for the most part true. But right now, it's Rotundo taking this huge one-man gang off his feet down to the canvas.
5 minutes gone. 5 minutes.
And they're already 5 minutes into this match. 5 minutes into this match. I was having lunch today with Ed and Don Bookbinder, and we were talking to Craig Solinger about this Mike Rotundo and the tremendous capabilities that he has. And I can tell you right now, he is certainly proving it. He's proving his point here against the one-man gang.
Well, the one-man gang now being flat on his back, he's going to have to come up with a counter move. And he is not really a counter wrestler, nothing like Mike Rotundo. Here he is, has this toe hold. You can see him putting the pressure here. The pressure goes on the ankle and also on the knee. He is in intense pain right now. This is normally not a submission hold, but this is a punishing hold. And if you can knock the legs up from anybody, you have the match in your hands.
And of course, it's Rotundo's spot here that if he can keep those legs in trouble of the one-man gang, then he can keep the one-man gang down on the canvas, and that's where the size sort of equalizes. Although even there, you can see how Rotundo is almost dwarfed by this one-man gang. One-man gang getting some extra leverage, and Mike Rotundo took care of that very quickly. And it is now a very frustrated Sir Oliver Humperdinck outside the ring. He has been pacing back and forth in and out of camera range, but he is beginning to look more and more frustrated all the time. You see him shouting at the one-man gang, trying to stir him into action.
You know, Gordon, something can happen here where Mike Rotundo wins this match. This would really be a feather in his cap after what he has been through tonight, coming back up against a man that has him outweighed by 200 pounds. Also with the manager standing outside the ring, trying to keep him off guard. And once again, down goes 450 pounds of giant wrestler. Mike Rotundo just has everything under control right now.
That's the third time that this huge monster has been off his feet. The third time in this match that Mike Rotundo has taken the one-man gang to the canvas. And that is, I'll bet you, is as doggone near as many times as he's ever been taken off his feet. He is a giant of a man. And Rotundo right back after that left leg, punishing him, and the one-man gang was having trouble when he got up that last time. And again, you see Humperdinck complaining and a look of almost frenzied fear, if you will, crossing the face of one Sir Oliver Humperdinck.
Well, I would say right now Sir Oliver Humperdinck has good reason to be worried. He comes out here with a fresh wrestler, feeling that he had this match in the bag when he saw Mike Rotundo in there, and it's not just so. Right now, the one-man gang is in a lot of trouble. He's used up a lot of his own energy now. Right now, it seems like he might be on even footing right now because Mike Rotundo has been all over the one-man gang. It has been Mike Rotundo for the last 5 minutes.
One-man gang underhooking that arm, coming over, and if he gets the body scissors on Rotundo, then there's going to be some kind of problem.
It looks like the referee is asking the one-man gang if he wants to give it up, if he wants to submit, because right now it's going to be up to the one. It looks like the one-man gang is able to come out, but no, Mike Rotundo able to put him right back in there. He's got his toe, he's twisting his toe around, he's got his toe hold on the leg, a grapevine. The one-man gang is grimacing in pain. Just look at the expression on his face. You can hear him screaming, hear him squealing. Look at that face. He is in a lot of pain right now. he's going to have to do something very fast. I don't know how much longer he can take this pressure on his leg.
Meantime, Rotundo, and it may be that fatigue is really setting in on Rotundo, because thus far he's unable to put the one-man gang away, but he is hanging in tenaciously. You talk about tremendous spirit, great intestinal fortitude. Mike Rotundo has it, no question about it. One-man gang back to his feet, but he's got problems. He has got problems, but he catches Rotundo on the top of the head. Rotundo's eyes glaze, and it's Rotundo. Caught right above our broadcast table. Rotundo. Forearm directly across the back. Came back in that thoracic region, and one to the side of the Rotundo goes back with an elbow to the ample midriff of one-man gang, and Rotundo again up against those ring ropes, right above it.
Well, it seems like Rotundo right now is starting to show some fatigue from all this long, trying wrestling that he has done tonight. He's going to have to do something to try and get his wind back, get away from the one-man gang, lay down, roll out on the floor, take an 8 or a 9 count, and come back into the ring. Seems like the one-man gang's left leg has been injured, but Mike Rotundo is going to have to do something to get the one-man gang off his feet and back down on his back again.
And it may be just a little bit too late. Rotundo trying to get that adrenaline going again, and the crowd responding to it as Mike Rotundo circles the ring and comes up. Wow! He caught the one-man gang with everything that he had. And again, Rotundo powering away. Rotundo staggers the one-man gang. He's got him in trouble. Catches him. Top of the head, the back of the top of the head. A drop kick, and the one-man gang is almost all the way through the rope. The one-man gang in trouble and almost all the way through the rope. And time is rapidly running out on this hour of Championship Wrestling 84. Mike Rotundo throws the pin again. And it is Rotundo dropping the one-man gang back to the canvas. And now time may be the factor on the side of Rotundo, because the one-man gang may be tiring. And that appears that could be the case, buddy. It looks to me now like the one-man gang is beginning to tire.
Well, that's right. The one-man gang with that 200-pound weight advantage is going to tire a lot faster. He has more weight to carry around. He is going to tire. You can see that he's moving very slow now. He's having a hard time just getting back to his feet.
All right, our time is rapidly going. And unless something happens within the next few seconds, may I just say this, let's keep the cameras rolling even as we go off the air, and we'll bring the conclusion of this match to you on another program. But that's all the time we have for this week. We'll see you again next week.